Hello everyone, my name is Ravindra. Today we learn about patch function, all about how to update records, add new records in our Power Apps, how to remove records, view records in our DATAVERSE. Okay, we also create one table in DATAVERSE. Now, uh, if you have some doubts and questions, you can ask me on different platforms. Okay, like LinkedIn, on my YouTube channel, and also blog also. You can connect me on different platforms. There is my WhatsApp number also, and if how to connect with me, you can connect with me. And Telegram number is also same. You can connect me on Telegram also. What it basically does, what patch function does, it modify or create one or more records in data source or merge records outside a data source. Okay, means it simply create records in our data source, to create and update records. When to use it, some many ones have doubt when to use patch function. The use the patch function to modify record in complex situations, such as when you do updates that requires no user interaction or use forms that spams multiple screen. Means you are using forms are goes on multiple screen. That type you have to modify bulk amount of data. You can go with patch function to update records in data source more easily. For simpler changes, use the edit form controls instead. When you add an edit control, you provide user with a form to fill in and then save the changes to the data source. Here what basically form does form provides uh, edit form basically does, you give form to the user and take data by using it. Patch function is take bulk amount of data from your user. Syntax to modify or create a record in a data source. We also see this in a app or application also. Okay, what patch functions basically do. Patch, what is our data source? Base record means you can put a default values. Default means we have to change which record. That time base record. Change record order means what we have to change, we have to put there. Here also I have mentioned data source required. It is important, data source is required. The data source that contains the record that you want to modify or will contain the record that you want to create. Base record required. It also required the record to modify or create. If the record come from a data source, the record is found and modified. If the result of default is used, a record is created. New record is created when default you use. Change records requires one or more record that contain properties to modify in the base record. Change records are processed in order from the beginning of the argument listed to the end, with later properties values overriding earlier ones. Syntax to modify or create a set of records in a data source means you have to create multiple records. You can go with data source, base record table, and the change record table means if in which you have to change the record. In this scenario, your base record is required and the change record is also required. For merging, you have to only give the records which you have to merge. You can merge that records also. Let's see example how to do this in our practical. Okay, let's we go to our Power App screen. Okay, I already created one application, simple application. Here we can check our inputs. Let's we first remove my previous record. Okay, to understand you. Here our record is removed. Now no record is displaying here also. Okay, let's we run our application. This is first page I have taken for creating an item. Okay, let's we give name to it, Ravindra. Let's give it one. Okay, last name Jadhav, my email ID and a mobile number. Let's save our record. it will navigate after saving, it will patch our data to our dataverse. Okay, after that it will navigate our first screen to the second for viewing the record. Okay, here if you have to remove, you can remove this record also. Okay, and if you have to update, you can update using here ed screen. Okay, I have created one ed screen to gallery. Let's we change my name, it is not Ravindra, it's Ravindra. Okay, let's we edit patch. Okay, done. Here you can see properly name is visible, and now we remove our record. Okay, okay, done. Now how to do this application I will told you in shortly. Okay, first we have to create a data source. Okay, let's we I show how to I created this data source. Given I give name to this data source is information taken 4 inputs through user: first name, last name, email, and phone number. Okay, DataVerse provide us a rich uh, data experience. Okay, I will show. uh, it takes only email. Here you doesn't need a data validation property. Here is a simple format of email. You can take email directly. This is text input property, and this is required. We take is business required and save our data. Here is phone number. Similarly I done. Okay, for phone number I give name phone number, format given is phone number. Okay, you can see here phone number, and this is also a required property. Let's save this also. Like this you can create an table in DataVerse. It is simple to use, you can create it also. Refreshing this data. Okay, done. And now we go to our first screen. Okay, okay, done. This I have taken 4 input here. Text input 1 2 3 4, this 1 2 3 4. Okay, after that for patching the record I use one button and give this input to the button. Okay, what to patch, given first patch information defaults. Okay, information data source, defaults returns the values to us information, and this is record what we have how to update. Okay, first name, last name, email, and phone number. This is 4 inputs we have taken from the user. Phone number value, phone number why I given, because phone number is an number, it is not string, that's why I given here value function. For navigating I use navigate function, and for resetting the text input I have given the reset property here to the text inputs. That's all about our first screen. Let's we jump to the second screen. I have simply added a simple gallery here. Okay, in simple gallery I given the inputs label here, 4 label: first name, last name, email, phone number. Okay, and here for viewing the records, to display the record you can also give name or text input also. Okay, I given a text input and this item dot xyz, or first name means in my application. For removing data source I use remove data source our information, this item, this will remove this record in our gallery. For going to next page we use navigate to edit screen cover, we use transaction effect, and store our selected item which we have to go in, that's one. And last screen what we done, it will display only the record that is we selected here. Okay, by selected item. Here similar properties I use. Okay, here text inputs I use for editing it. Okay, patch function similarly for first screen. After second screen we remove the record in patch function. Okay, a lookup is used to which we have selected and which item we are removing. For that we use lookup function for removing the record, and here we set the text inputs and other property. It is simple. That's all about patch function. If you have some doubt from patch function, you can connect with me.